Hey everybody, I just got some new teas, so I'm going to go ahead and record me housing them. We're going to start off with this Burgundy Goliath Bird Eater, or tea Stirmi. Right now I'm just going to set it up in this Exoterra 12x12 tank, so let's go ahead and get started with that, and then I have all these guys to rehouse over here too. Yeah, so let's get started. So I'm just going to fill up most of the way with substrate. So I made this mix here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this up. These tend to be opportunistic burrowers, so I'm not gonna put a drainage layer in. And this mixture that I'm using, I have a video for it, how to make it, and this substrate holds the moisture pretty well. This species does need a higher humidity. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up here. I don't want to block the vents because we need that cross ventilation. So I'm going to go ahead and get some dirt in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get a cork bark tube for a hide. And then I also have a water dish. I'm trying to escape there. Okay, so I've got my cork hide. I'm going to go ahead and break this because it's a little bit big for this enclosure. So we're going to break it down to a more manageable size. Oh yeah, look at him getting out. Where are you going? Not yet, okay? Soon. Soon. All right. Let me out. Actually, you know what? I wonder if we could use that. Now, let's break it. So I just broke it in half. So we're gonna use it. Let's see, that should be large enough. So I'm just gonna stuff it maybe in like this corner here. Let's see what that looks like here. I'm filling any cracks. I don't want the. I'm gonna pre-start a burrow just to get him started. And then I'm actually gonna add more substrate. So we're gonna add more up along the back here. And then make sure we're not blocking those vents down here. Kind of pack it down a little bit. He's rolling away. I love this guy. Where you're going for a stroll, huh? Whoa. So go ahead and keep this burrow open. I'm gonna add a lot of dirt in here just to kind of give more space. I'm gonna go ahead and put the water dish in this area right here. Normally I like to add plants, but I'm a little short on larger plants that can handle the size of this tea. So I'm not going to add plants at this time. He is just going for a walk. I say he, I'm not sure what sex it is yet. What gender it is. going for a stroll. Let me go ahead and get the tarantula in here. I'll grab the water dish here in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and close this off just in case it decides to go for a stroll upwards. No. Come on. It's all right. Oh, you're all right. You're all right. Alrighty, so I just got him in the cup. Gonna tilt it sideways. And then I'm just gonna set it in here, let him go out on his own. He's been pretty lively, so we're gonna go ahead and see if he'll exit on his own. That way we're a little less stress on him. He's probably tired of being cooped up. So go ahead and close this side here. I'm gonna grab this here. Once this social distancing ends, I'm gonna add add some plants here. So we can see this guy. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up so we can get a clear shot. Open it up. Gorgeous tea. Big guy. I'd probably say maybe 6-7 inches. So just let him relax, get it home. And we'll go ahead and start the next rehousing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rehouse these P Metallica slings. I'm just putting them in this container you can get at like the Container Store or Hobby Lobby or something like that. This is just a little bit of tape to keep the lid on this one was pretty loose, so that tape helps stiffen up the lid a little bit. But I went ahead and filled a little bit with substrate, and then I put a little cork bark tube. This species, S-slings can tend to make dirt curtains and show like burrowing behaviors, so that's why there's a little bit of substrate in here. But let's go ahead and get this one in here. Come on. Come on. It's quick. Doesn't want to come out. No, this is my house. Come on. You're all right. It's okay. Look, go out right there. Go. Awesome. Sorry you couldn't see that, probably my arm was in the way. Just hanging out in there. This will work pretty good for this species until it gets a little bit larger. So one down. Same thing for this one. It's probably hard to tell, but I've already pre-moistened the substrate as well to keep the humidity up for them. Come on. Right in there. Beautiful. It's probably hard to see. Blends in really well. Yeah, that's really hard to see. He's hanging out right there. You can kind of see the legs. Awesome. That's probably one of the easiest rehouses I'll ever have with this species. So now that those are done, we're gonna go ahead and rehouse the GBBs. I'm just using these Herb Cult with the magnetic lid. I love these, they work really well. And for the GBBs, I'm just gonna fill it with substrate and then probably add some of the fake plants for webbing points. They love to web up real heavy. They tend to like it a little bit drier. So these are terrestrial teas. I've never had one that burrowed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it up and leave enough ground space for it to wander around. So I'll probably fill it about that much, a little less than halfway. That way I can put some anchor points in here. So I do have a fake plant that I'm going to use. So we're just going to use a couple of these little pieces of the fake plant for anchoring points. You really can. This is half the fun of this hobby, is creating these enclosures. So you can really do whatever you like. So just give it some place to create a web. All right, let's grab this. I'm gonna go ahead and start this lid. That way I can close it. Chilling right at the top. Beautiful. That's a gorgeous species. One down. Let's go ahead and start on the next one. Typically, like I said, this species likes a little bit drier. I'll keep it a little bit more humid for the slings until they get to a larger size, maybe 1 or 2 inches, and then I'll start letting it dry out a little bit more, which is the way they like it. But with slings, you always want to keep them a little more humid than normal. So again, just some of the fake plants that I've got. We're just going to arrange them just for some anchoring points. So pretty simple, nothing, you know, too crazy. A little bit of bolty action, but it did really well. And this is why you start the lid first, because now he's trying to climb out. Yep, watch your toes. Okay, thank you. So, awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and rehouse these C. elegans. I don't normally put a whole lot into these enclosures just because they're so tiny that I want to be able to keep track of their growing process and just to check on them. So I'm just gonna fill it about half-ish way with substrate, and then go ahead and just add the tea. And then also you can go ahead and do like a starter burrow. So I just take one side of the tongs and go ahead and just create a starter burrow for them. And then that'll work. They'll run in there and hide. So like I said, not a whole lot, just because I want to keep track of the health and progress of this species because they are so tiny. So let's go ahead and set up both of the enclosures. Like I said, again, about halfway. Do the starter burrow. There we go. I don't know if you can actually see the starter burrow over here. But let's go ahead and get these into their new homes. Super tiny. They're kind of hard to see. Come on, focus. Kind of hard to see, and they're really, really tiny. So let's be extra careful with these. And this actually calls for a different method. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a smaller poking stick, just a bamboo skewer. So let's get in there gently, very, very gently. Encourage it out. Come on. You're okay. Patience is key. If they do bolt or anything like that, just have patience. Perfect. Amazing. So there it is. Look how tiny it is. A wild one. Beautiful. So like I said, like to have them in this smaller enclosures just so they're easy to find, keep track of their health. Probably add some springtails for it to feed on later. And let's go ahead and do the next one. Oh, this one already started a little web in here. I'm sorry, I have to tear that down now. Bolty. These are super bolty, look at that. That's alright, works in our favor. Yep. Little guy right there. Awesome. And then last, but certainly not least, the pumpkin patch. I ran out of the smaller ones, so I'm going to use my next smaller size, which is this guy here. So we're going to fill it probably about to this line here, about halfway, like I said. There we go, about halfway. And then we're going to go ahead and add the tea. This one also created a little web. I feel bad for destroying their little home. But you're going to be in a better enclosure here in just a second. Gosh, this guy is so small. Pumpkin patch. Little tiny little baby pumpkin patch. Look at that guy there. Awesome. This went really well. There we go. Super tiny. Awesome. That went really well. No crazy hiccups or anything like that. Just be patient, and you know, if they take off running on the floor, it's not a big deal as long as you don't have any vents or anything where they can escape. Just relax, calm down, and always have a catch cup handy. I know for the little ones that's probably a little bit more difficult, but you can use something like this for the little guys too. Cool. Thanks for watching.